it's Siri. I am here at 12108 Wander Lane. This is in the West Anderson Mill area. So let me show you the neighborhood. This neighborhood was built in the 70s and 80s. It's a double wide street, so that's really nice. It's obviously very quiet. The homes here are very well maintained. Being an older neighborhood, we do have a lot of just general wear and tear on some of the houses, but there's tons and tons of renovation going on in this area. Here off of Lake Creek Boulevard, we have a pocket park, and then there's a school right down here to the right hand side. So looking at the house, they did some things really nicely with the renovation and other things were very shitty. So I'm gonna point those out to you as we're going through. So first thing I look at anytime I see a painted house is gonna be signs of foundational damage and shifting, because when they paint, it will often cover up any cracks. We call these stair step cracks that go through this stone or brickwork. I don't see any cracks on the front. I haven't been in the backyard, but I'm 90% sure I'm gonna see cracks back there, and I'll show you why when we get back there. They kept all of the original single pane windows from the 80s. That really annoys me. If someone is gonna spend this much money on a house and it's got 40-year-old windows, that is cheap, 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 cheap. And I'm gonna show you the condition of the windows on the inside because you can't really see it from out here. Their painter, like obviously, or trim person, this is not done with quality. Like this is old caulk that they should have pulled off before they put this trim board in there. Like they just didn't do it right, and that really annoys me. So to make these look like new windows, they came out here and they painted them so they looked new, but they're still like, this window isn't even in frame. Do you see how it's like leaning out right here? And also, just side note so that you know, cedar, this is a stain on the cedar paneling. You're gonna have to repaint that probably once a year to keep it this nice kind of dark red color. It really annoys me that this is a design trend right now to be putting cedar planking on the outside, because Texas weather and the Texas sun, I'll show you something real quick, it is so tough on natural products, so real wood. It just beats the tar out of them. So this house has morning exposure, so I'm gonna bet that this cedar is gonna fade pretty quickly here because it's gonna get some reflective light off of the driveway. And they also, just looking here, they only put gutters on this front L, and they really need to put gutters all the way around the house to protect the foundation. Our soils are extremely absorbent here, so it is pivotal that to protect your house from your foundation moving, you've got to have gutters all the way around. And we can see they have new concrete work here, but we can see from the cracks in the driveway that the water flow coming off the front of the house has definitely damaged it over time. You can also see where this whole side has kind of gone down because their gutter drainage right here is draining onto the sidewalk, and it's not supposed to be designed that way. All right. So when I was first looking at the photos online, I thought this would be just a lot more open as far as like the height of the ceiling. I'm 5'9" and I can touch the ceiling. So that is a 7-foot ceiling, and that is pretty much standard throughout the house. I'm not sure how tall you are, but it feels just a little bit enclosed. I do love how large and open our formal dining area is. I think that this is a pretty good layout for a living room. It would do really well with like an L-shaped couch. You'd have to put the TV either on this wall or here, but there is no electrical mount up there. So that's where your TV would go. I love the kitchen. It is huge. I think they picked out some nice finishes. So we have a faux marble top finish here. They did a nice navy blue tile here, and their tile guide did a really good job. Look at how clean, there we go. Look at how clean this tile line, or the caulk line is. That is a sign of good tile work, but then he didn't finish it right here. What's going on? Undermount stainless steel sink, the modern fixture here that we're seeing in all the houses. Now this I thought was interesting. So here, you gotta be careful, probably put a little bumper there. We have some nice pull-out drawers. And this is essentially your pantry. You do not have a pantry in this house. I don't know how much you cook, but I liked this. So we have our soft closed drawers here. So that'll be on all the bottom, but they did not put soft close hinge rollers on any of the top drawers. I thought that was a bit odd and cheap. So gas stove here. If you cook a lot, I felt that this microwave is a little bit short above the oven. And also if you cook a lot, I just don't feel that the fans on these vented microwaves are super strong. So it is vented to the outside, which is great. So we're not recirculating the air. This is where your fridge would go. So in Texas, washers, dryers, and fridges do not come with a house. Step down here. Now let me show you something. This used to be the back porch. I hope the video focuses right. There we go. So you see how it's like significantly shorter on this side than this side? And we have a mini split right here, and there's a mini split in the second room right there. That is because there is no HVAC work for either of these rooms. And you don't wanna rely on just the circulation coming from these vents in the main living area. So when I walked through here earlier, right here, and I don't really know if you can see it much in the video, but we are tilting this way. The back of the house is definitely going down against this wall. And when I look outside, it's because all this water drainage is draining toward the house. And I mean, they do have a gutter here. And when I talked to Alex, who's the listing agent, he said that they did install or will install some French drains. So this is a French drain. It means it's an underground drainage system, and that is going to drain the water from the roof. But I'm not seeing drains in the yard. So yes, you want to drain the roof toward the front of the house, but when the design is so bad. When you cover all of this grass with what we call an impermeable material, it means all the water hitting all of this is gonna come and it's gonna just drain and sit right against your foundation. And that is what causes this side of it to sink in. So even though the water drainage is going into the French drain, all of this is just gonna come and sit against this back room. That is the HVAC unit for the mini splits for the two that are in this room. So I don't know how well you can really see it in the video. There we go. Do you see the fogginess on the bottom? That is a sign that the seal has failed. And you see this glue right here? Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed and it's not working really well. So that glue, there we go. They tried to reseal the window with hot glue. That is ridiculously shitty. All right, so this is what I think they're considering a bedroom, because not only do we have a window, I'm sorry, I don't know why my phone's not focusing today. We have a window and we have a closet. Very small closet, and we have an exterior door. So it does count as a bedroom, but once again, our ceiling on this side is probably, I think it's 8 or 9 inches shorter than our ceiling on this side. So at 5'9", I can touch here and I can go just about full palm against the ceiling here. So this is another sign that this used to be exterior. This is one of the original electrical panels, and the brand is Source Company. I haven't heard of this one. This looks original to the house. Generally, these older panels, you want to replace them because a lot of them from the 70s and 80s are actually fire hazards. I'd have to do some research to see if that is one of the ones that has issues. So this would be your laundry room. This is a sign that I also look at for a good flip versus a bad flip. This hookup box, you see this water right here? I guarantee you there's water in this one too. There is a rubber gasket in the neck of these pipes, and it gets old and crusty and it breaks, and therefore it does not seal this from dripping. And what you don't want is for your washer and dryer to be hooked up here, and you have, unbeknownst to you, your hot and cold water are leaking, and if it overflows this little drain tray right here and starts dripping on this, then it's gonna start dripping down your walls. And for weeks, months, or years, you could be soaking and rotting your walls and have no idea what's going on. So they could have replaced this entire box, all new plumbing, $50. Instead, they just put some cheap trim around it and painted the trim black. That really annoys me. Here's a very good size 2-car garage. This is probably close to 600 square feet, which is about 50% larger than most new build garages. I like that we have a closet here for storage. And then this should be our hot water heater. So 2010, that means this is at or past end of life. Most hot water heaters last 9 to 13 years. So this one being 11 years old, coming up on 12 years old, is probably most likely on its last legs. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a sound that I listen for as I'm walking through a house. And right here and here, hopefully you hear it where it becomes more echoey. What that means is the foundation was not flat. When they put the flooring on, they should have put down some self-leveling compound. They didn't do that. So when you put this type of luxury vinyl plank down on a floor that's not level, it creates air pockets. And those air pockets, the more you walk on it, so in your high traffic areas like your laundry room and your hallways, the flooring over time will actually pop up off the floor and create a pretty deep air pocket. So it just is a very cosmetically beautiful but cheaply done. All right, so upstairs landing area. I don't know if this was a bedroom at one time. Interesting office space, but it's like right off of kind of a main thoroughfare. I don't know if you'll have family staying with you or if you have kids, but it could be kind of loud if you use that as an actual office space. So here we can kind of see, it's really hard to show this in videos, but do you see kind of this fogginess? We can see some of the calcium on the windows too, but the fogginess shows that this is a failed seal. We can actually see the seal right here is failed. Also looking at their roof, I don't know how old this roof is, but they chose to do a 3-tab. This is the cheapest, least hail resistant type of roof. And they're supposed to last 20 to 25 years. Realistically, most of them last about 9 to 12. They just do not withstand well under the Texas sun. The roof that I would rather see, oh, that didn't work. Okay, it's on this house and not this one, but the one behind it. Oh, you really can't see it in the video, but it's called a dimensional lay, and it is a much thicker design shingle and is gonna last you about a decade longer than the 3-tab will. And the price difference, $400. So we have a painted Spanish tile floor, very cute, very modern. Soft close. So these will be the flip ones because we have the sink under there. So decent, this isn't a ton of storage in here, so they did install this corner storage system, which I actually think is really nice. So that flips the other direction. And this one, that one's a false drawer because of that. Nice light fixture. One thing they did do that I like is most of our fixtures and our hardware are consistent throughout. One thing I do not like is when we put silver with black or rose gold, or they just mix a bunch of metals, but they've been fairly consistent with using the same color hardware in all the spaces. And I think I forgot to show you the master. Oh, here was one other thing I noticed earlier. Two other things. One, look how far this lip is coming out over the stair. And you can see it's starting to pop up right here. So every time I've come up and down these stairs, it's gone. Oh, and look what they did. Like, this is just a very, very, very cheap, not good looking way to finish something, and not something you're going up and down the stairs several times a day and you're going to notice. So the master is this way. Hall closet. So very spacious master bedroom. But this is weird to me. It's gonna be a little challenging to see this in the video, but it is shorter on this side than it is on that one. Probably by about 4 or 5 inches. You can tell it when you're standing in here. It is a very spacious room. I like that it's off the hallway, so it's private. You do have a good sized walk-in closet. I don't like that they have 2 different color finishes here. They probably just used, they didn't even bolt that down. So this is MDF board. It is cheap and it is not made to hold much weight. So if you put a bunch of like shoes, like heavy shoes or something on top of here, it is gonna cause this to bow in the middle. But like, this is probably what came. Oh, this isn't even attached. Oh, just cheap. I have seen these types of flips going in all over Austin, and it annoys the tar out of me because they think that people are just gonna pay $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 for whatever. So this is your closet, a second closet. I like this as a good storage space under the stairs. This, I just have no idea what's going on. I'm like, what are you gonna do with this space right here? Master bath. They used a really pretty basket weave marble style tile. Have the dividers in the drawers. So this is the plumbing goes through on this side. Okay. Flip drawer here. So you probably would actually use this as a linen closet, like put in some shelving here, because this is the only storage in here. And then we have a marble or possibly a faux marble tile. I think it might be real marble because it's got some color variations with some pinks and reds in it. And then we have a honeycomb style on the floor. Like, this house is just, it has too many things in my opinion that they just didn't do properly, and it's gonna cost you a lot of money down the line. Also, the HVAC unit is right here by your back window. So when that kicks on, it's gonna be running all spring, all summer, and all fall. When that kicks on, it could be very loud, and you just might find it a little unappealing from a sound perspective. Let me know what you think.